I think motivation is one of those things that you can't really work on. I think you either have it or you don't. And it really deals with the idea. And so the process through which I selected the idea that I eventually decided to work on was related to whether or not I felt an intrinsic motivation that I felt would never end. When I first got the idea for Knotch, it was one in a series of many ideas that I had before. And I had variations of this idea before. And then I had this idea, and I remember I was actually taking a shower, and it just hit me, and I stopped. And I realized that something had settled in my head, like a little bug, a little virus, and that it wouldn't go away. And then, I just went about my day, and then the first night I couldn't sleep, and then the second night I couldn't sleep, and it just went on for 3 weeks, and I was terribly tired and obsessed at the same time, and so I knew I had to do something about it, which led to me quitting my job, finding a co-founder, making her quit her job, planting the virus, and so on. And so ever since then, we've used this terrible notion of planting a virus in other people's minds, and I think it works really well, because if the motivation is intrinsic, you really don't have to do anything every day to keep your employees motivated, to keep yourself motivated. Then there's the question of just being drained sometimes, because it is a very stressful thing to start a company, to hire people, to raise money. I mean, it's just terribly stressful. And with that, I'll say that initial obsession that wouldn't let me sleep at night just became this incredible, never-ending, so far, source of power. And when I wake up in the morning and I take the first step out of bed, I never ask myself if I'm taking it in the right direction. And this is something I would always do before I started Knotch. And so every day when I take the first step, I'm just overjoyed that whatever happens that day, I know it's in the right direction. And that keeps me just constantly energetic, even with very little sleep and a lot of caffeine.